What's up, everybody? We are back with another podcast, and we are so pumped to be here. Whoop whoop! How's everybody?
Good.
Good.
I'm good.
Yeah. John?
Pretty good.
John's pretty mysterious guy. He's not much of a talker.
Yeah. He's the reserved one.
I try to stay quiet.
You what?
I try to stay quiet most of the time.
Hey, sweet Asics, you running today?
Yeah, bro. When we moved last week, I wore my boots the whole time, and I didn't know that there were different parts of my insole that were like worn down. So I was like putting all my pressure on one part of both of my heels, and I woke up the next day and was like, I couldn't walk. It was so hard for me to walk for like 2 days. So then I went to my closet and found my old Asics when I used to run.
You gotta have some cushion, dude.
Yeah, bro. So they're pretty comfy.
They look great.
Yeah, I like.
Great. They're really they pop.
You did move in a new house recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How's that?
It's great. It's awesome. It's still, it's like these guys won't really understand, but like being a homeowner. Yeah. It's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, no doubt.
Is that why we sat where we sat?
It's been fun.
Yeah.
Divisive?
Homeowners and non-homeowners. There. Responsible and non-responsible.
Right.
Irresponsible.
I moved you into that
responsible.
home.
Yeah, no, thanks for helping. Y'all.
Yeah, you're
I
welcome.
appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
You
You
There's
talk,
no joke.
Hey, you keep talking like that, we'll go unmove you.
Yeah, we'll move it. But,
We'll
we can't move it back in the old house, I don't think. But
No,
We'll
we
move
can't.
it out in the street
yeah.
or something.
Hey, no joke. His house is dope.
Yeah.
It's pretty
like,
dope, dude.
It's
You really missed
I
out.
wasn't invited.
it's a great house.
I haven't been invited yet.
We looked out on that one. You're invited anytime after this.
All right, see ya. in a
I
minute.
told him.
Yeah, come
I
on
told him
down.
when we were moving, I was like, I will come at any time. Like, I'll just show up. Midnight. Be like, what's up, guys? You want to play some games?
I can't do that. I have to plan several days in advance so I can start an allergy medicine routine because I'm allergic to
Oh
this
my
cat.
gosh.
Yeah, when we hosted for a young adult study, it was like a countdown clock.
We're on
It
the
was
clock.
like we were slowly watching you, like your face getting red and then your eyes getting red and then you were like reading and you were going
And man, the Lord's really moving in this heart.
My throat's closing up.
yeah, the whole time I was like, we gotta get done. This is bad. I felt really bad that night. I did.
Load up on some Benadryl.
I just gotta, yeah.
Did you take like 2 or something?
I took some whenever I got there.
Yeah.
I can handle cats, but I have to like several days in advance start like an allergy medicine routine.
Prepare for cats.
Yeah, I gotta get ready for it. So,
Mm.
That's fun.
Well,
Yeah.
So, John, you got any other pets?
Yeah, I have a rabbit. Y'all know I have a rabbit. I'm not gonna act like I'm getting interviewed by someone I don't know. I have a rabbit.
A rabbit.
He's a Flemish giant. He's about this long.
He's a giant
Like that.
rabbit.
he is
tall.
huge.
It's still like
Huge.
I still every time I see it, I'm like, that's the biggest rabbit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
We let him out in the yard for the he's never been outside. I don't think like when he was born. He was
When he got birth.
he was. They just kept him in a cage outside, and then we bought him, and then he's been inside ever since. So this is the first time we've had a backyard we can let him out in,
So he's an
and it was
rabbit.
pretty hilarious because he doesn't know how to he's a rabbit, but he can't run. I mean, he can move fast, but he doesn't know how to. His body doesn't know how to handle it. So
He
it looks
doesn't
like
know
he's flailing through the yard.
He doesn't know what he's doing, but he's excited.
He's excited, dude.
Like
He
a
was
baby giraffe.
pumped. He was pumped about being outside. It was fun. Yeah.
Oh,
a
rabbit.
yard because you're a homeowner.
Yeah, my freshly mowed grass that I own.
You own
He
that.
You own the grass too?
Anything within that block,
His
that
property.
little square,
Probably.
I own that, bro.
It's his.
Man.
And now I can officially say, get off my property.
Get off my land. Get off my farm.
John's gonna be out there drinking lemonade on his front porch. Y'all get out of here now.
We need to do a get off my
Starts
lawn
wearing
segment with
overalls.
John.
Yeah, we do. We'll talk about
No shirt
neighborhood
underneath.
happenings.
Yeah, what y'all doing out
You're gonna
there?
start wearing overalls and no shirt underneath.
He's like, y'all stop playing in the street.
Just a trucker hat on.
Yelling at
These
cars
kids.
like they can hear you.
Hey, slow down! Slow down!
Someone's
There's
got
children that
kids.
play
There goes
here.
the neighborhood.
Oh my god. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun.
What topics we got today?
Some topics. We got some random questions. I think this would be a good one going off of the cat.
Mm-hmm.
If you had 9 lives. What would you do that you wouldn't do with just one? Like, what would you do differently if you had 9 lives?
I wouldn't be friends with Josh.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly.
Wait. What does that have to do with the...
Well, you just asked if I had another life. No. Wait, so we have to state 9 things that we would do?
No, maybe just like...
If you knew you had more chances...
If you knew you had more chances, would you be a little bit more risky with your...
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
In what way?
So I love... I like adrenaline type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would probably... I would do a lot more like bungee jumping and skydiving and those kind of things. Like, you don't want to do that?
If I had 78 lives, I would not do that.
Really? I want to go skydiving now, but I don't want to go to like Somerville to do it. That's like the only place that I know of nearby to go do it. And I'm like, I want to
Shout
save
out
it.
Somerville.
I want to save my first time to like. I want to save my first time for like the Grand Canyon or something.
Oh, okay.
So I think that would be way cooler.
New Zealand or something.
Dude,
Skydive in New Zealand. Have something to look at.
yeah, that's the thing. Somerville.
Yeah,
it's
there's
just
nothing
like
to look at the Grand Canyon.
Well, yeah, it's a
Somerville.
big hole when you're in the sky. Look at that big hole.
I'd maybe be a stunt man. I think that'd be fun.
That would be cool.
That would be crazy.
So
I can't really think of a whole lot because I hate all that stuff. Like I
Everything
with
that
my
you love.
one life, I hate roller coasters. I hate.
Same.
oh, I forgot you
I
hate
hate-
roller coasters.
I would never skydive. Bungee jumping is probably worse than skydiving because you're a lot closer to the land.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
And
but you got 9 lives.
I can't do it.
You're gonna come
I can't.
back.
I don't know. It doesn't seem fun to me. It's not the dying that scares me. It's the jumping.
Yeah, you don't like
Like,
adrenaline.
I can't do that. I don't like
What if there
roller
was someone
coasters.
behind you doing like the pushing?
No. No, I would love to push somebody.
Yeah. I let go. I mean, I'm jumping either way, but I can let you pretend that you push me.
I would. Yeah. I love. So this is gonna. I'm the old man. So, like, I love to travel.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd travel all over the place, even to
Somerville?
Somerville,
Dangerous.
dangerous places. Somerville, maybe Oakland. I don't know. Bells. No.
Bells, Tennessee.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I just travel, and if I died in a plane wreck, I travel again because I have 9 lives.
Sure.
Cool.
That's. I don't know. I'm pretty boring. I'm a pretty boring
I
guy.
would travel.
That's like what people say with like one. Yeah, I need to travel more. Josh is like, I don't know, it's pretty risky out there.
You never know.
Dangerous world.
I might go swimming in the ocean because I won't do that now.
That's true.
But
You're
I do
definitely
like. I
afraid
would
of
like the
Oh,
ocean.
yeah.
'cause that's a good. I guess a fun one.
Yeah.
If I knew I would survive or knew I had a different life.
But it almost
I
be
want
worse
to go like
survive.
Shark Tank diving super
After a
bad.
shark attack.
I think that would be so fun.
You'd love to do what?
I want to go
Yeah.
like Shark Tank
I would.
diving.
I would.
Oh,
do
yeah, that would be
if
cool.
I'm not gonna die.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna be eaten by a shark.
Mm-hmm.
I'm good.
Get up.
But that's why,
Play
like,
some personal.
man, don't go to the beach. If you go to the beach, don't go in the water.
Go to the beach. It's fun.
Sharks.
Well, not right now. We're social distancing. but-
Sharks will eat you.
Yeah, you have to social distance from
You can
sharks.
social distance
Yes.
on the beach. It's
Yeah,
big
but
Not
if
when they're
everybody's
Not
going
like
to the
Destin.
beach, if
many
everybody's
people
going to
there.
the beach, then you can't.
38 Seaside.
Like that big,
Rosemary.
the group of Gen Z people that all went
Yeah.
to spring break regardless. They're like,
The
I've
beach-
been planning this for months.
The beach was like
I'm not
shoulder
gonna-
to shoulder.
Which is a lie. They haven't been planning it for
Yeah.
months because college kids don't plan
They're
anything.
like,
It was
I've
like
got
a month and a
100
half out. I was like, I just spread my
I'm going
spring
to
break
beach for
ticket.
spring
I got my dad to pay my spring break ticket.
I've got $150 invested in this weekend.
Why do all the college guys sound the same?
Yep.
It's mostly frat guys.
Chaz, dude.
I say that as if I
John,
didn't
what would
sound
you do?
like that.
Probably drive a motorcycle.
Ooh, yeah.
That would be like my life change. Would instead of driving a car to work every day, I would have a
He
motorcycle.
comes in next time with a leather jacket.
Because you're going to die on a motorcycle no matter what.
Oh, I mean,
Just
it's
a matter
in
of-
Memphis on 40. Yeah, you're gonna
Oh,
die because
100%.
everyone's going 20
Would
over
you-
the speed limit.
Would you drive like a Harley or like a Ninja or something?
Oh
like that?
no, it would be a Harley type bike. It would probably be like an old Yamaha.
Honda Goldwing.
Yeah,
I don't know. I just heard of it before.
Other bike names.
Yeah, it'd probably be one of those older like cafe racer bikes. I love those. I almost bought one before I got engaged.
Really?
Hey, so
Yeah.
speaking of how dangerous 40 is, last night I was driving on 40, and this guy had his lights like completely off, driving a truck. I mean, it's like 10 o'clock, so it's pitch black, dark, and he's driving, and then all of a sudden, out of the back, like he had all this stuff in the back of his truck, and this like, you know, those white grate shelves, like the grated white shelves, like a couple of those just fell out onto the interstate. Sparks started flying everywhere. I mean, he was driving like I'm driving here, and he was probably 2 car lengths ahead of me. Luckily, it like floated to the other lane. And then like at night, I was watching in my rearview mirror. I see this car, and I see it driving along, and I know that shelf is in its lane. And then I just see the headlights go. I'm glad they're safe. But
I'll never forget when you were living in Brandon. There was one night that I went down there to spent the weekend with you guys, and we were leaving Crossgates to go back to your apartment. Mm-hmm. And I was driving your car. You were in the passenger seat, and we were driving on the interstate. Yeah,
that's weird.
I don't doubt it. I don't like driving.
And I was coming up over a hill on the interstate, and there was a car in the middle lane just stopped. And I was like, whoa! We had to like swerve around it. It had its lights off and everything. But
crazy.
Was that in your Explorer?
It was.
Yeah.
We almost destroyed it. I mean,
you know who did destroy it?
Grayson.
Shout out Grayson.
I sold it to him, and he calls me like a few months later. He's like, "Hey, dude, I'm sorry, I hit a deer." And I was like, in the car, and he's like, "Totaled." I was like, "Why are you sorry? It's your car."
You
he called me. I was like, "It's not mine anymore." But oh my gosh! So when I was in college, last story about this interstate driving. When I was in college, do y'all remember an app called the 50 app?
Yes.
So there's this app.
I think
you can still get it, but you can like listen to
police scanner. Like you can listen to what they're saying and stuff. So me and my friends were bored one night, and we literally sat around, kind of like this, sat around a table, put somebody's phone in the middle, put it on speakerphone, turn all the way up, and we're listening to whatever was going on that night. And we were like, they kept saying stuff and giving like locations and stuff, and we were like, I wonder if we got in our car, if we could beat the cops to where they're saying they need to go. And so the very first thing that we found was, we just hear over the thing, it says, we've got a situation on Interstate 20. There's a hay bale in the middle of the interstate. And so we're driving to where we think it'll be. So we're driving by, and then coming back this way, there's an 18-wheeler. And we look on the back of the 18-wheeler, and there's a strap just flapping wild in the wind. And it's like there's a stack of 2 hay bales, 2 hay bales, 2 hay bales, 1 hay bale. It's like, what is not there? So we drive up there, and literally smack dab in the middle of the road, there's a giant, one of those big circular ones, giant hay bale. And we just lost it because we were like, we did it! we were Was that
real
Jonesboro?
bored. No, that was Clinton, Mississippi.
That was in Mississippi.
So
Same thing. About the same
It's
thing.
about the same thing, yeah. It was so funny.
Arkansas, Mississippi.
Yeah. Another question we got. So, vague statements. So, I guess like in conversation or talking with somebody, like when they say just this random vague statement, what is one that absolutely drives you insane? You're like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Vague statements.
I don't know if it's kind of vague, but it's just a statement that drives me nuts. Is if I'm looking for someone, or if I'm looking for something or someone, and they'll say, "Where did you have it last?" I'm like, If I knew that, I wouldn't be looking for it.
That
drives me
good
to-
one. You have it like
That
that.
is so true. I hate it.
Where'd you have it last? No?
I don't
That's
know.
what I'm trying to figure out.
Do you retrace your steps? Like,
Or did
yes, that's what I've been doing.
Have you checked your pockets?
Yeah.
Nah, man. Trust me.
Where did you have it?
you
last?
have
You have it last. That's the whole point of this search.
Yes. I'm trying to figure that out.
That's really funny.
Just try to remember the last place you saw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, I hadn't thought of it that way.
Good call. So, yeah.
That's great.
Mine is like when you ask someone if they want to do something or try to make plans, and they just give you, "Can't, I'm busy," with no explanation of why they're busy.
Like you're really close with
Yeah,
them. And so
yeah.
it's like,
no, I can't. I'm busy tonight, and it's like,
In a quarantine.
yeah, yeah, or yeah, something like this.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
no, you're not.
No,
No,
you're
you're not.
sitting at home.
So I've gotten to the point now where I'll say, what do you got going on? Like I'll make them tell me
What do you got going on?
Because I'm the type of person, like I'm an introvert, so I'll tell someone, no, I don't really feel like hanging out tonight. I
Oh,
want to
yeah.
stay home alone. And you can tell me that, and I will understand. But don't be like, I'm busy, I got stuff
I
going
got stuff.
Okay. Drives me crazy.
It's,
Prior engagements.
note to self. Don't say that to John. Make up a story.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey John,
make something.
I don't want to hang out with you.
You can say
You
that,
told me
man,
you'd
that's
appreciate
fine.
it.
Not every time.
Just tell me you
I
don't
don't
want to
wanna
hang
hang
out.
out.
I don't want to hang out with you.
I don't like you.
I just tell you that every day, regardless of whether you ask to hang out or not. It's like, hey, I just don't want to hang
I
out.
don't want to hang out. That's great, man. I would rather not.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've heard, but I own a home now. So I would like to stay there.
He likes to
And
hang
drill
out with a
things.
certain type of
drill
person.
thing.
Yeah, I got it. I have a drill, so
And a saw. Did you get
and a saw, and a screwdriver set,
It's really
And
ugly,
a
though. Don't be
screwdriver.
impressed.
and plates.
You
for
got
outlets.
ratchets?
I do have ratchets.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I have a ratchet set.
That's so ratchet.
That would be a great segue into
That-
your ratchet.
Yeah.
But I guess
What-
they
I
don't
don't know
even
what
know
that is.
about that.
No, that's okay.
No.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
I think one would be because it is so vague and it's so dependent on the person. ASAP, like as soon as possible. As soon as possible. You're like, that doesn't help me because I don't know for you what that means.
Yeah.
So you need somebody to say, "Yeah, man, I'll get back to you as soon as possible." So like you're just hanging,
Yeah.
waiting
Yeah.
Yeah.
on there as soon as possible
Is-
when it could be right this second or it could be 10 weeks from now. Like I don't know what
Wasn't possible
It
until
wasn't
now.
possible. So like be a little more specific.
That reminds me of in the office when Kevin is trying to figure out like when the printer's gonna be ready. He asked Pam. He said, "When's the printer gonna be ready?" And she said, "Soon." He goes, "Soon? Soon could mean 3 weeks from now." And she goes, "Is that what soon means to you?"
He's like,
He's like,
sit down. Yeah.
Here's
So
Does ASAP?
ASAP as possible.
Yeah.
as soon as possible.
Does ASAP mean as soon as I can get to it, or as soon as it's physically possible? Meaning I'm going to do this immediately.
I feel like that's what it should mean.
Yeah.
Like the moment I can. If it's right now, I'm gonna do it right now.
Right.
But the moment I have the smallest amount of window, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But I think to a lot of people, it's like,
I'll do it when I get to
I'll
it.
do
That's
it
the
when I
thing.
just
But it
think
depends
about
on how busy that person is. So if like
no,
They
we're
have-
in a quarantine.
if they have,
But the
I know,
thing
but not
is-
now. I'm
Somebody's
saying
at this-
before.
I'm just-
If they say if they have like 4 meetings that day and they're in the middle of a meeting
Yeah.
and you're like, "Can you do this?" and like, "Yes, I'll do it as soon as possible." They're not going to
But
do it until they're done.
I
with
just
their
feel like
meeting.
you should like clarify.
Yes.
Hey, I have a few. Don't just say as soon as possible because I feel
Right.
like that means
Yeah.
that's
think-
quick to get to it. But you should say, hey, as soon as I get out of these meetings, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that would clarify for me.
As soon as
Just-
I get out of these meetings as possible.
Or as soon as
as soon as I can get out of these
as
meetings.
soon as I wake up, take a shower, do that. Like, be more specific.
Yeah.
Don't be
I
so
do feel like
vague.
that because, like, as soon as
Yeah.
possible, communicated to that person. Like, if I say as soon as possible to you, that means
Yeah.
boom.
So-
But to me, I know my schedule, but he doesn't know my schedule.
Yeah.
Just be more specific.
Spilled coffee on my jorts.
Mine. Nice plug for wearing your jorts.
Mm.
Probably improved them.
My quarantine
Um,
jorts.
Mine would have to be Over Yonder,
Over yonder. Oh,
which
so
doesn't get used as much as it used to. I'll admit that, but like older people are more accustomed to say this. But I always remember when I was like working with my grandfather, he'd be like, "Go get me a screwdriver over yonder," which there's a few things that have to go on with Over Yonder. If you give a head nod, like over yonder, that gives me at least a general direction of where it's at.
Mm-hmm.
But when there's no head nod or anything, it's like over yonder. You're like, well, now all the directions are down. Like, I don't know where to go. Like over, and it could be like, 3 miles, or like right next to them. They just don't want to get up and get it.
Mm-hmm.
Over
That's a
yonder
good
drives
one.
me.
I haven't heard that in a while.
I haven't either, but it scarred me. Just over yonder, like just be like over there. I don't know, but
Wait for 2 seconds.
all right, quick one. We'll run through a little bit and just give like a excuse me, small and why. So answer the question and then why. If you could meet someone who is dead, who would it be?
Mm-hmm.
Like from all of history.
Johnny Cash.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a good one.
Why?
I just think Johnny Cash has an amazing story. He has a lot of hard things that he walked through, but he was a man who cared about people deeply and used his artwork in such a way, and he carried himself in a way that it impacted people. And he's just cool. Like, he's a cool dude.
He's so cool, bro.
I love Johnny Cash. So,
Man, that was a good one.
sorry.
I think it would be C.S. Lewis for me, because through high school I read like a ton of his books, and his writing and his writing style and just his honesty had a big effect on my development as a Christian and the way that I view even community with people, and just being upfront and personal with people, and he was just brilliant. So yeah, C.S. Lewis, because he is one of my heroes.
Nice.
Maybe God. No,
God's not dead.
God's not dead.
Watch the movie
Don't you know that
and
he's
the
surely
sequel.
alive?
Surely alive. He's living on the inside.
And guess what?
He's roaring
like a lion.
No.
Find that in 5 worship songs.
I would say that's a really tough question. It's like a lot.
We definitely
I'm a history guy, so probably Winston Churchill.
Oh yeah, it's a good one.
Just want to, I'd like to talk with him about. I've read a couple of his biographies, but on him, but like about that the moments in World War II when he's having to decide, and the whole nation's like, dude, we can't go to war with these. We got to give them what they want, and he's like, no, like we're standing our ground. We cannot give in to tyranny and this thing. So just that moment of he had convictions. And he stood by him when everybody else was pushing against him. I just, there's a lot of leadership skills in that too. But
that's good.
Did you ever see The Darkest Hours?
Yeah.
Oh man,
It's
amazing.
Yeah.
I want to go. I need to watch it again. Last time we watched it was.
Do you have time to?
Nah, I got a busy schedule.
Oh,
I'm busy. I got stuff.
It's fine. That's okay.
I'd probably say mine would be MLK. I'm a big. I've read probably not as many, but I've read a few of his books, and it's kind of similar. Like, he had convictions in a time where it was not the norm, and like, and not the. I don't know. He just stood up and stood against. He walked against the crowd. He walked against the flow of like the status quo and all that kind of stuff. So
good one.
Yeah,
MLK for sure.
Yeah.
So what is just to end this out here? I think what's something that y'all have been learning personally, spiritually, or whatever, just personally lately?
So I've been leading our college students through this book during this quarantine. I've been reading a book called I Declare War from Levi Lusko, and the central idea of the book is that we tend to look at life as if it's like a playground. We just do whatever we want, do what makes you happy type thing. But life is a lot more like a battleground than we realize. That we have enemies that we have, and one of them is Satan. One of them is an ideology of pursuing the world instead of pursuing God. But I think the biggest adversary that we face and our worst enemy is ourselves. That we sabotage ourselves over and over and over again in life. And so the crux of that book is I declare war, saying I'm declaring war against my flesh. I'm declaring war against what's pulling me away from God, which is us more often than not. And so that starts, and that's really the thing. The book is all just about real repentance in life and real change that's happening. Because I think sometimes we will accept salvation and then not really put legs to changing, and because we don't know how, or the habits are just so ingrained in us. And so that's kind of where I've been at, is that we have to change the way we think, and then change the way we speak, and then change the way we act, and all those things are connected. Yeah. Declaring war against ourselves and getting out of our own way, getting out of this habit of sabotaging our own lives. So.
Very appropriate for this time too.
Yeah.
I'll go. So I'm reading a bunch, but I won't bore them with this because I'm in school right now. I'm in class, so I'm reading some preaching books. But you guys really probably don't care about that. But
I've never
something
preached.
the Lord's been teaching me, and I've shared it with some groups. But the idea of seeking the Lord's presence, just in this moment, in this season, because we just live in like right now we have the most time we've ever had, but sometimes like for me, it's hardest right now to prioritize time with the Lord because I have so much time, and I feel like I need to fill it with my stuff, and so then I'm like, man, I went today and I didn't spend time with the Lord at all. So, and I've just been reminded that we hear what we're near.
Yeah.
And I just want to be near God, and I want to hear from Him. So I have to be near Him, and that takes me prioritizing that. And so for me, it's just been spending time in the Word outside of my school preaching books that I have to read, but just spending time walking through Scripture for me. Hadn't really reading other books, so that's what.
I've kind of been in the same place since like when we started the fast in, was that January when we started that? I decided I've always had a bad tendency of like reading books more than I do Scripture, or like I'll still have a devotional in the morning, but it'll be like a 30-minute hour devotion, like reading my Bible, and then I'll sit down and read a book for like much longer. And so I saw that habit in myself at the beginning of the year, and so I thought it'd be a good time for this fast to like break that. So I've just been like reading through the Psalms, and it's been really good because it's been really cool to see. I mean, the Psalms are just fascinating because there's such a roller coaster, because it's like in one sentence it'll be like, "Well, I can't believe you've done this to me. Why would you let this happen?" And then the next thing will be like, "Give praise to the Lord, for He is great and powerful." And I think it's really good as believers to see, like, even in that, like, that far back in history, to see, like, people still dealt with emotions and dealt with ups and downs. And it's comforting to see other saints and other writers way back in the day going through the same stuff.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we want to thank you for joining us. Thanks for another podcast, and we will see you next time.
Love you guys.